Oh gosh, there's 2 in there. Hey guys, I'm back, and today I've decided we're gonna go back to 1993 so we can check out some puppets. Although it just dawned on me now that we don't really need to go back in the past in order to check out the puppets from 93. But I said it. And they are right under the table. Why would I leave them under there? Probably to give myself room. And those puppets are, you already know this because you looked at the title, cheater, Lamb Chop, or Lamb Chops if you're like me and prefer to call her with a plural. What? No. Yep. Yep. Okay. Charlie Horse. Oh, and I just dropped Hush Puppy. Hold on. And, shh, you don't know yet, but we also have Hush Puppy. All right, I can't really hold all 3. They're kind of floppy, which is why, if you heard that crinkly sound, I shoved some paper up their butt/backs to keep them sort of upright to help them be less floppy. Let's take that out. So I actually bought these for my husband for Christmas, and I was so excited to see his face when he opened them because I'm a weirdo and I like to try to make people cry or feel something that they didn't intend on feeling that morning. I have problems. It's not a good Christmas unless I make somebody cry in a good way. That's the way I see it, but that's not what we're talking about. I was really excited to see his face light up when he opened these, except I'm pretty sure the look on his face came more so from me hyping up the package, trying to get him to guess what was going to be inside, these being the last thing he would have ever thought of. Although, a super awesome nostalgic surprise nonetheless. Just imagine this face. Where did you even get these? I mean, where did you get these? And then me going, do you like them though? It was something like that. All I know is I considered it a success. He didn't expect the gift and I was happy to give it. Okay, to be honest, I got this for him because I thought he'd really like it, and also if I got him into collecting, it becomes a family hobby, which means I can buy more hidden motives, you know? I don't know why I just did that, but he liked it, I was happy, and now we have more stuff. And we all know this is the place to come if you want to hear about stuff. With Jen. And Charlie Horse, apparently. His arms are just way too floppy, or I have baby hands. I don't know, but enough about Christmas. Today I've decided we're gonna have a history lesson on lamb chops. Wait, no. Oh gosh, there's 2 in there. A history lesson with Lamb Chop. All jokes aside, of the 3 puppets, Lamb Chop is the oldest and most iconic. She first appeared in the late 50s with her puppeteer Shari Lewis, who you may or may not remember depending on your age, and they were guests on shows like Captain Kangaroo, which my mom talks about way too much as of an hour ago when I told her I was making this video. Hi Mom! And a show called Hi Mom, which was really a funny segue that I actually didn't think of, and a New York morning show. And then later in the 60s, Shari Lewis started her own show, but because I've never seen it, I have no clue whether or not Lamb Chop ever appeared. But in my heart, I'd like to say yes, since she was so special to her. But then again, my heart has nothing to do with the history of what actually happened, so just ignore it, really. I know, this is fascinating stuff, right? Who knew this is what you came for? The history of lamb chops. Yay! She's excited. Continue, continue. That's not her voice. I can't remember it off the top of my head. My memory is failing me today. But we shall continue, because the next part is the best part. It's the part that you guys are most likely to remember. The 90s! Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, Lamb Chop. Look, her eyes are like so sad. Why'd you hit me? This is just like Muffy all over again. Was it Muffy I hit? I'm off topic. In the early 90s, Shari and Lamb Chop got their own PBS show called Lamb Chop's Play Along, and this is when we got to meet everybody. So obviously Lamb Chop, Hush Puppy, and Charlie Horse. I need 3 hands. This is why I need to be an octopus. Yay! We already knew I had troubles with this part, okay? The show was honestly one of my favorites when I was a kid, and I wish I could tell you how old I was when I first started watching it, but 1, I didn't have a TV for a long time, and 2, there is some confusion out there as to when the show actually aired for the first time, and depending on what source you get it from, the answer is gonna change. With Wikipedia saying that it premiered September 10th, 1992, and had their last episode on January 1st, 1997. But that is only if you go based on the information that Wikipedia has for Shari Lewis. If you go based on the show, they say the first episode came out January 13th, 1992, and that the last one was September 22nd of 95, which actually adds up to what IMDb IMDb says. But then on August 4th, 1998, the New York Times wrote that Shari Lewis's last children's program, before Charlie Horse's Music Pizza, which I've never actually seen, but that's irrelevant, that her second last, I guess we'll call it, children's program, which was Lamb Chop's Play Along, of course, ran from 1989 to 1995. And because it's the New York Times and most news sources aim to have the most valid of information, I'm inclined to believe that this is the most accurate of all the dates. Especially in this circumstance because that August 4th article was published to celebrate the life of Shari Lewis, who sadly passed away at 65 from pneumonia. And I kind of remember hearing about that, but because I was a child, I had no idea what it meant. All I knew was no more lamb chops. Regardless of when the program first aired, it's safe to say that it ran for 5 to 6 years and touched the hearts of many with their catchy songs, cute characters, valuable stories, and teachable moments that many children gravitated toward and found comfort in before it ended. Although, now that we have the internet literally at our fingertips, we can watch Lamb Chop's Play Along as well as any of your other old favorites whenever we want through things like YouTube or Netflix or every other online streaming service. Which is great because I don't know about you guys, but I love watching the old shows that I liked as a child and sharing them with my children just to see what they think about them. Like, do we have similar interests? Do the shows still hold up? Or just in general, seeing the difference between children's programs of the past compared to decades later. I have really weird hobbies. You guys may or may not care to hear all of that, but sometimes I like sharing the little tidbits because maybe you will find it interesting and become a weird hobbyist like me. I don't know. But yeah, back to the puppets. They're like an afterthought now, even though Lamb Chop has literally been sitting on my hand this entire time. My hand is super sweaty under here, by the way. Polyester for the win. Woo! She's a mix of knit, fur, and felt additions, like her brown eyelashes, although they actually might be suede, her brown floppy ears, her little red tongue, and her red mittens. And in the front, she has 3 plastic red buttons. I know we all know how puppets work, but just in case, cause you never know, I'm gonna explain it. How is she sitting on my hand, you ask? Well, in the back, just under her tail here, there is a big open area where we can stick our hands in, allowing us to stick our fingers in different spots. So we've got my thumb in this arm, my pinky in the left, and then up here in her mouth, we've got my fingers. Now I'm no Shari Lewis, and I have small hands, so it's not super easy, but here we go. She's being bashful. She's shy. It's a little hard because look, that's my thumb right there. Just makes her arms floppy. Lamb Chop is mostly made from polyester, and unless I measured completely wrong, which is completely possible, she's about 18 inches in length. In fact, I'm pretty sure all of them are. And because I still have useless information, I'm just gonna throw it out there, even though I said I was done with the history, that a lot of people like to guess how old Lamb Chop's was, with the majority of guesses being about 5 to 6 years old, just based on the way her character acted in the show. But I can't really weigh in on that debate because I haven't seen every single episode, and it's possible that she's flat out told us her age in one of them. So we're just gonna stick to the popular consensus, or not at all, because we don't really need to know what her fake age would have been to finish this video, so that could be your random information you didn't need to know for the day. I should probably switch it up. Next up, we have Hush Puppy, who is a gray dog. Once again, he's a mix of materials, but the majority of him is this gray curly fabric. He also has felt additions in the form of ears, black eyebrows, and a red tongue. He's got plastic eyes and nose, and then this red t-shirt that says HP on it, with some blue on the chest and around the sleeves, and a yellow collar. His muzzle is so long and empty, he just kind of flops because my fingers are literally only to his neck. I need longer hands. From what I remember, Hush Puppy was really shy and loved music. And I'm pretty sure he had a southern accent, but my memory likes to fail me sometimes, so I don't know for sure. But what I do know is that Charlie Horse liked to take advantage of his sweet, innocent nature and trick him or play pranks on him or kind of like get him in trouble. Yes, I remember that very well. And here he is. Oh man, he is just a mess. He is the lovable horse that brought us such gems as the song that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friends. In fact, some people started singing it not knowing what it was, and they'll continue singing it forever, just because. Do it.
It's a song that doesn't end, and it goes on, my friend. Some people started singing it not knowing what it was.
NexJen is going to stop singing because half of you probably just unsubscribed. But for real though, he's got bumpin' style. I mean, Check it out. He comes wearing some white sneakers with red laces, some shiny, supremely 80s, early 90s purple pants, and they've got little zigzags and diamonds and spots on them of green, black, yellow, pink, all the colors you'd expect to see in that time. And he's also wearing a super bright neon green shirt and a backwards red cap, and it's perfectly squashed onto his super fuzzy white hair. And because I forgot, which is getting everywhere, I'm inhaling it. And because I forgot to mention it, he's got a light brown fabric for his body, black hooves, plastic eyes, and some buck teeth that were once stitched together and a better color than they are now. The plasticky coating that was once on them is peeling off. Yes, he's seen some better days. So I picked the 3 of these up as a set for $30 from a collector who had them for a very long time. But other than Charlie Horse, they're in pretty good condition. Maybe not now, I might have just scratched somebody's eye. When I picked these up, I hand washed them in a mild soap and then I let them air dry for days because I didn't want to ruin them anymore, but they are in fact falling apart. They're really old, so it makes sense. Like, okay, on Hush Puppy, actually I think Hush Puppy is the best of the 3, so we're not really gonna talk about him. For Lamb Chop, her muzzle is yellowing and I couldn't get that to go away no matter what I did. There is marker on the inside of her ear because someone decided she needed a makeover, I guess, and it's quite obvious that at some point she was washed and put in the dryer. If you've ever washed a stuffed animal that has a nice soft fur and you've put it in the dryer and wondered why it came out a hard, knotty mess, the dryer was the culprit because it kind of melts the plasticky fibers or whatever they are, I'm not an expert, and they clump together. So once it's been there, it's really hard to get them back to what they once looked like. So there's not really much that I can do there. And she has a few other spots with light staining. Charlie Horse is the worst of the 3. His hair is a mess, the paint on his eyes is scratching, his muzzle has a blue stain on it, his teeth, as mentioned, are separated, and the vinyl or plasticky coating of what was once there is now gone. His tail is super staticky, and the bottom of his shoes, once again, had a plasticky type coating which is completely scratched off. But at the end of the day, I paid $30 and got 3 awesome puppets, so I'm not really gonna complain about that. Unfortunately, I don't know what they cost back in 1993 because I didn't buy them back then and I can't really find any info on them, so if for some reason you happen to remember getting these and you somehow miraculously recall the cost of them, then share that info down below because I'd like to know. Either way, I'm still really happy with the purchase, regardless of their current state. I did the best that I could with washing them off, and honestly, the only goal I had was 1, getting them, like owning them, and 2, having them cleaned and dry so that I could tuck them away for Christmas, which I ended up doing, and it made my husband happy. And you know the story from there. Some people started singing, not knowing what it was, and they'll continue singing it forever just because this is the song that... Okay, I am done, I promise. Since I don't really have a way to fix these guys, and it would be kind of pointless because I'd have to make it up as I go, and chances are I'd ruin them further, there's not really much else that I can show you today, so I'm just gonna sum it up. That's pretty much it. Bye-bye, folks. Do you think we're done? Mm-hmm. He thinks we're done. I'm not a really good puppeteer. Anyways, if you know somebody who would enjoy today's video because they enjoyed Lamb Chop's Play Along, Shari Lewis, puppets, or my videos in general, then please share this one with them. And if you enjoyed it yourself, then please make sure you remember to comment, like, and subscribe. You can let me know down below what you liked or didn't like about today's video. Maybe you liked that super long random history lesson on Shari Lewis and Lamb Chop's Play Along. Where kids come to. Okay, I'm done. If you don't want to type that, you can just let me know what your favorite show was from when you were a kid. I have a very long list, but that would take forever, so we're not doing that. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!